Hello, everyone. Very good morning and good evening. Welcome to the next episode of Game of High Flyers. And today with me is Pankaj. Okay, so before I put my gun to Pankaj, let me give you a quick introduction about Pankaj. Now, Pankaj, she is having around 6 years of total experience, and she comes from the finance domain. She has done Masters of Commerce, and actually, I came to know about Pankaj because I was doing one implementation project in Katera, and she was also there. And in the sourcing and procurement and finance area, she was a core user into the implementation. Then we came into the touch and we came to know that she also wants to start her career in SAP, and she also took one training, but seriousness was not there, so she has not completed. So we motivated her that if she can get trained herself in FICO, there are a lot of opportunities. And then with her core user experience, she also got a job. She worked for a few years in heavy manufacturing industry as a uh, as a support consultant, but there also she need to learn more so that she can shift her job into the consulting company. So she again started with us a course in SAP FICO. She took a SAP FICO as a self-paced course, and August 2021 she started again, and then she started preparation, and in June 2022 she got selected now into the consulting company TCS with 70% of salary hike. So that's a brief story about Pankaj. Okay, so with that brief story, I would like to welcome Pankaj on the show. So Pankaj, welcome to the Game of High Flyers. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Thank you, Parminder.
So I have told a brief story about you, but it would be great, that if you can tell your story in your words, that how your struggles happens, what kind of work you have done in operations, and then finally when you decided that okay, this is the time I need to move to SAP, how you prepared for it, and then finally how you got a job for it.
Yes, yeah. Okay. So, hello, good morning, all. My name is Pankaj Subedar, and I'm a finance background person. So, I have completed my education as a Master of Commerce in accountancy, and then I started my career as a lecturer. First, I was started as career as lecturer. Then I shift to Pune, and I joined one company where I was working as a finance analyst. And while working with that company, I in 2019 only I joined one this SAP FICO training from one of the institute in Pune. So there, while doing that training, I got again an opportunity to work with Katera Technologies, and I joined Katera in procurement department. Yeah, and there was my role is into SAP PP module. Yeah. So again, there was no that much seriousness. I did not have, so I left that training in the middle of the training. I left the course, and again I was working with continue with Katera. So due to some situations, I left that job, and then I joined one more company. So it was a heavy manufacturing machines. So there was my role is into SAP FI. So while working with that company, I suddenly one idea came into my mind that I should again join the SAP FI training. I should do it seriously, and then I purchased a self-paced video from the Sastrageek solutions, and I did that seriously for 6 months itself. And while doing the training, I was even continue with my SAP studies. And while doing that studies, I was giving interviews for many companies. I have updated my resume, then start giving the interviews, and then I crack this interview. And then I got an offer from TCS, and now it's been 3 months I'm working with TCS. So this is so a short story about my career.
That's very good, short and sweet story. Thank you, Pankaj. So I would like to ask, and a lot of people would really want to know that
Mm.
how difficult or is it a very easy to first to think about that you're working in operations. So from operations, you are completely switching to IT.
Yeah,
Okay. So the way we work into the operations, the way we work into the IT and consultings are different. It's technology oriented, so you need to learn on to the technology part. So whether it was a very easy for you or whether it was a very difficult for you, and how you manage that switch from the operations to IT.
yeah. For me, yeah, it was not too much difficult and not too much easy also. But yes, you have to put your efforts to do that. So I was working is into SAP model only. So while working in SAP, uh, you will get I feel that yes, I can do this because in 2019 I was doing a training. That time I never know about the SAP. I did not know anything about the SAP. So that time it was bouncing. Yeah, I was doing the training and I was getting nothing. So then that's the reason I left that job, that training. And then in August, when suddenly that idea came into my mind, my mind that yes, I can do this. So while working on SAP FI module, it was a little bit easy for me to understand SAP FI CO training, this consultant training. So that the work experience also helpful for me to understand the training or to get into this career.
Okay, that's a very good point Pankaj has made, that she said that she when she started working on SAP, then it clicked in her mind that okay, what training was told and what she was supposed to do. So
Mm.
make a note of one point. All the people who are working as an end user, they are the most right suit to get fitted as a consultant. I myself also worked almost 3 to 4 years as an end user, and then I get switched my profile to consultant. And believe me, when I was doing a consultant, the most thing which was used is my operational and end user experience, because I know that what problems end user would be facing, why he is asking, if he was asking a particular requirement, why he's asking for it, what actually he wants. So all the people who are working as end users, if you are ready to put the efforts, the same way Pankaj has put, you can switch
Mm.
your profiles into the into the consulting one, into SAP consulting. And the people who does not have that experience, I also now, if you see the Pankaj's profile, she did a two-step journey. She took some training, but was not figuring it out. Then she worked as an end user first. Then she took a training again, and then she worked for a consultant. All the freshers who comes to me, we give us the training to them, but I always prefer then that you are a complete fresher. I'm talking about that freshly passed out the engineering graduates. We train them, but I always recommend them try to get an end user role first. If you have a two options, that one is end user and one is consultant, even I prefer them to work for 1 to 2 years as an end user. If you have worked strongly deep as an end users, you would become a very good consultant in future. It would be helping you a lot. So for freshers also, it's the right path, that do work some years for end user and then switch to consultant. So that's very good, Pankaj. I think this knowledge, this discussion would be helping many. So
Yeah.
Pankaj, tell us about a little bit about your job and how many interviews you have given, how you prepared your CVs, and how the interview processes went ahead.
Yeah. After doing the training, uh, then once I completed the training, then I have done some studies, some preparations, because of course it is not that much easy for end users or anyone to directly give for consultant interview. So I have done some preparations and done lot of practice on the server. That is, I have taken a rented server and I have done much practice on that. And then I prepare for the interviews. First of all, I have made my resume, something I have searched on Google something from my knowledge, like that I have mentioned in the resume. Then update CV on daily basis so that you will get a calls from Naukri or many other you know people. And then I have given around 15 interviews itself. And while giving those interviews, I got this opportunity. So one of the, I only thought that at least one interview I will crack. Okay, so in that process, I was giving the interviews on daily basis. On daily basis, I had one or two interviews, and that too from all the MNCs, MNC companies. Yeah.
Hmm. Right. So Pankaj has made very beautiful 2 points, if you have noticed it. One thing, she has given 15 interviews and she is highly motivated that she needs to just crack one interview. 15 interviews she has given. Few interviews went into the discussion mode also, but final offer did not come. And when she got it, the offer, then she has joined that. But make a note, she has given a 15 interviews. I have a lot of people, they came back to me, see, sir, ek interview diya, two interview diya, dhajiya ud gayi meri, to I was not able to answer it. I always tell them, note it down that questions. And you know that after fifth or sixth interview, if you have noted down all the questions, you will feel that then after seventh or eighth interview, 60 to 70% questions also same. They're asking you the same thing. So
Mm.
first five interviews, when you have done a failure, that become a reason of success in the next interviews.
Yeah, that was also helpful for me. That whenever I was giving
Mhm.
the interview only what we say that मुझे और confident बना दिया. जैसे जैसे मैं
Right.
interview देते गई, it was made me very confident. I became a confident that yes, I can do it. On same type of questions they were asking, like most of the time they were asking on the basics,
Mhm.
on the concepts of the FI or
Concepts, right.
whatever. Yeah. And then again, they switch to the experience, like what are you doing in your current company and in your previous organizations. So interviews is also a part of my journey also, to become a success person. Like with the help of interviews only, I got the ideas how the interviews are conducted, what kind of questions they ask in the interviews. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, that's
Mm.
very good point. So you can don't shy. That's why in my trainings, I always push people, and when the 50% training is completed, go to SAP Job and Mastery. There, all the guidelines are there, how to prepare your CV, and start your interview process. The
Yeah.
early you will start the interview process, the better it is. Because when you are learning, at that
Mm.
time you don't know, okay, what is right, what is wrong. But when you face the
Yes.
interview, then you come to know, yaar, APAR मैंने पढ़ तो लिया, but in
Mm.
this particular points, I'm not able to answer it. It means I need
Answer.
to revisit them and then you
Mm.
need to redo it. So that is also a thing you need to do. One more point Pankaj made, and I would be able to emphasize more on that. She did a lot of system practice. She took a server access, and then on server, she keep on practicing almost for 6 months. Okay, it's very important you do your hands-on, right? So everybody is
Mm.
asking for the experience. So if you have not worked on the project, but you can come into the system, if you can do all the transaction, all the scenarios, end-to-end scenarios run by yourself with the configuration, if you will do that, two things will happen. It will give you a lot of confidence. And when they would be asking a question in the interview, if you have done the things on system, it will be imprinted in your mind. You will be able to answer quick. You will not forget the things. And with confidence, you would be able to answer it. So system
Yes.
hands-on and practice is also very important.
Yeah. Mm.
Thank you. Thank you, Pankaj, for sharing that. So my next question would be that, and people would be interested to know what kind of actual questions they are asking into the FICO interviews.
Yeah. So should I tell the questions?
Yeah, yeah, you
Like,
can tell what
yeah.
kind of questions they have asked, exact questions you can let me know.
Yeah, yeah. So for finance background, they ask for a company. First question is what is company? What is
Mhm.
company code?
Yeah.
What is fiscal year? What is dependent fiscal year? Then what is chart of accounts? Then about the GL, what configuration GL needs? Then field, what is field status variant? This is the, yeah, most of the interviews I face these questions and these all questions. Then APP, they ask on the APP most of the times, automatic payment program. What are the steps that you are following in configuration of automatic payment program? Then on asset part, they ask many questions. Assets, because AP and AR we understand easily, but assets is a sub model that we don't use on a daily basis. So on assets parts, they ask what is chart of depreciation, depreciation areas, what kind of configuration, asset classes you need to define. So then, yeah. So these are the questions they were asking. So all are the basics.
So very good point Pankaj has made. The APAR are very common. So you want to differentiate yourself. So focus on assets also. Asset is a little bit difficult also to learn because the configuration wise, concept wise, it is little difficult how the depreciation calculations and other things happens. But if you'll be focusing on that area, that would be a differentiator factor for you. You can also mention in the CV that you are strong in the assets part. Apart from APAR, everybody would be mentioning and everybody would be answering the questions. But if you focus a little bit more on asset, that can be a differentiator factor for you. Thank you, Pankaj, for highlighting all of these points. People would be able to prepare on these points. Now, if somebody is working in operations, he wants to switch as a SAP consultant. Okay, he is aspirant. So what kind of key suggestions you will give it to him that what kind of key things he need to do it so that he would be able to convert from operations to SAP consultant?
Yeah, first thing is if he is working on a SAP module itself as an end user, then it will be very grateful for him to make his career into SAP consulting. So while working as an end user into SAP module, he should join whatever his background. Like mine is finance, so I have joined SAP FIO training. So while working as an end user, you should join one training. So while working in that particular company, you will get to know what I'm working as an end user and what is the background of this end user. Like what we say, जब हम काम करते हैं तो एंड यूजर के पीछे का जो सेटिंग है, लाइक मुझे ये स्क्रीन दिख रहा है एपी का, लाइक FB60 का स्क्रीन दिख रहा है, तो इसके पीछे मैंने क्या सेटिंग किया, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सीइंग दिस स्क्रीन. So while working as an end user, you should join one good training so that you will understand end user as well as consulting part.
Right.
Yeah, from my point of view, this is very important. And while doing the training, you should do the practice itself also. So that while working in company, you will understand end user part, and in training, you will understand the consulting part.
Consulting, very important points Pankaj made. I also suggest people that if you are doing this training with us, okay, it's not about you are doing the training, you are sitting into the lectures, you are practicing on the system. If you are working as an end user, the training will get there also. There also, I ask people to go into their system. Right now, you are doing one FB60 transaction, ME21N or VA01 transaction. Go deeper into it, which fields you are putting it, why you are putting those fields, go behind the concepts with your training, then you will quickly go into the next level and you will be able to ask many questions in the interviews.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you, Pankaj, for sharing all of this information. With this, we'll be coming to end for this interview. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing all the information. I think that this would be very helpful for all the aspirants who wants to become SAP FICO consultant. So thank you for joining our show.
Thank you, Parminder. And all the very best to all the aspirants.
Okay, thank you. They need some good wishes. Thank you for that. So with this, we come to end to our episode of Game of Five Flyers. Stay tuned with us. We'll be coming up with the more success stories in the next episodes. Thank you and goodbye till then.